Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I'm Hawa Salihu Adaman. Our starting point this Thursday is security, as 11 hostages, including 5 children, have escaped from bandits' camps at the outskirts of Kaduna. This follows intense security operations that dislodge many bandits from their camps, leaving them in disarray. A statement by the Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Kaduna State, Samuel Aruwan, says the 11 escapees consist of those kidnapped from Dumbinruga, Zaria, and those abducted along the Kaduna-Zaria highway. Similarly, troops of Operation Safe Haven have rescued 2 kidnapped victims along Kirti village in Jama local government area. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai expressed satisfaction with the development, commending the troops for the degrading effects of the onslaught on bandits' hideouts. And still on security matters, 156 criminals have been eliminated by troops in different operations within 2 weeks. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was disclosed at a periodic briefing by the Defense Media Operations in Abuja.
The operations led to the neutralization of 27 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters, arrest of 51 Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province terrorists.
It is another Thursday. The coordinator of Defense Media Operations is here with compilation of achievements of the gallant officers and soldiers on the field between 29 July and 12 August 2021. The intensity of joint armed forces operations in different locations compelled some terrorists to surrender.
No fewer than 1,000 terrorists and their families, comprising adult females, children, surrendered to own troops at different locations in the northeast. Notable among them are the notorious Boko Haram terrorist bomb expert named Musa Adamu, aka Mala Musa Abuja, and his deputy.
Several airstrikes by the air component of Operation Hadarindaji and its ground troops successfully smoked bandits from their hideouts in parts of Zamfara and Katsina states.
The airstrikes resulted in destruction of bandit structures, neutralized no fewer than 123 bandits, and also the destruction of their logistic facilities, and particularly one of their leaders, Halil Utubali.
At the waterfronts, troops of Operation Delta Safe conducted several anti-illegal oil operations in the south-south, leading to the activation of illegal refining sites and recovery of arms. From the defense headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Army is reinvigorating training and drawing lessons from ongoing operations to facilitate quick response to banditry, insurgency and militancy attacks in parts of the country. This was made known by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, during a seminar for senior army officers in Kaduna. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun report.
It is the maiden operational visit by Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, the headquarters 1 Division Nigerian Army.
The Nigerian Army under my watch.
Incumbent and potential brigade commanders, as well as general officers commanding, are here to brainstorm on philosophy and pillars of enhancing the capacity of Nigerian Army senior level field commanders for optimal performance in complex operating environment. The Army Chief says, conscious of the growing threat to national security, Nigerian Army is repositioned to take the war to the bandits in their hideouts.
There is no doubt that having a common understanding of where we are as an army, what is expected of us and where we are heading to is crucial to professionally defeating threats to national security of Nigeria.
The second seminar is a forum for senior officers to frankly share ideas and identify gaps in the conduct of various theater of operations. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
And we are not done with the military, as the National Assembly has approved extra budgetary funding for modernized equipment to enhance the firepower of the armed forces of Nigeria. This was contained in a message by the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, to participants of the National Defense College Course 29 in Abuja.
This assembly has approved disability content for modernized equipment to enhance firepower, counter-improved explosive devices, intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, reconnaissance, and also communication.
Some major advances at the National Defense College in the past year. This includes the upgrade of the Center for Strategic Research and Studies. The college also upgraded the equipment at its medical center to cope with growing demands.
The event is part of activities marking the graduation of the participants. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says it has apprehended a local illegal gun manufacturer and 3 bandits with AK-47 rifles in its routine stop-and-search operation in different parts of the country in the last week. Chairman of the agency, Mohammed Buba Marwa, told newsmen that the NDLEA is handing over the suspects to the appropriate authorities for further investigation.
Nigeria's fight against illicit drug trafficking seems to be enjoying increased momentum, and with it, more inroads into the labyrinth of crime and criminality. While the lenses have been trained on drug busts in different parts of the country in the past week, the dragnet has uncovered a disturbing competence that may not be far from the center of the nation's unending battle to put insecurity under control.
And a fabricated high-caliber G3 rifle was discovered with 78 rounds of live ammunition of 7.62 caliber and 5 empty shells. Definitely, this may not be the only manufactured weapon. We just chanced on this one.
The suspect confidently explains his dexterity in manufacturing high-caliber machine guns, giving some pointers to perhaps what might be an unconsidered value chain in the shadows of outlawry and insecurity.
I manufactured it in London, not.
Since when have you been manufacturing?
It's not that. I have the talent right from my childhood.
3 bandits armed with AK-47 rifles on their way from Igabi local government of Kaduna State to Kankara local government in Katsina State for another devilish mission were intercepted.
Locally made small arms and light weapons and their distribution across the country remain a sore point of the nation's quest to solve its security challenges. In Abuja, Fisayo Gunfuyi, NTA News.
Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has directed the state's Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice to commence legal process of domesticating the non-custodial policy contained in the Nigerian Correctional Service Act 2019, which will aid decongestion of correctional centers in the state. The governor gave the directive when he received the Controller, Correctional Services Ondo State Command, Mr. Okpeyemi Fatiniku. Abiola Ario completes the report.
Statistics obtained from the Nigeria Correctional Service shows that out of the 950 inmates in the state, 755 are awaiting trial, 12 females, 15 are serving life sentences, while 1 person is condemned. This, the service say, requires government's intervention to achieve decongestion of the correctional centers.
The Act gives Nigerian Correctional Service 2 broad duties, custodian and non-custodian. Mr. Professor, all the states I've visited, most of them have started their non-custodian. But I'm surprised when I go to Ondo, Ondo have not started.
Governor Akeredolu expressed concern over the number of persons awaiting trial in the 5 custodian centers in Ondo State, said necessary steps would be taken to improve the statistics. He commended the Nigeria Correctional Service for its systematic reintegration of inmates into the society under its initiative of reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration.
The issue of custodial or non-custodial measures, work on it immediately, but that must get it done.
He added that the agricultural programs of the Nigeria Correctional Service has been beneficial to the society and inmates after serving their terms. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
Nigeria and Spain renew synergy to protect the Gulf of Guinea. Michael is on standby in Lagos with details. It's over to you.
Thank you, Howell. Nigeria and Spain have recommitted themselves to a higher level of synergy targeted at reinforcing maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. This was during the visit of a Spanish naval ship MV Vigia to Western Naval Command in Lagos. Adeni Taiwo completes the reports.
The Gulf of Guinea is the commonwealth of so many nations. It's deep water to facilitate movement of crude oil and other cargoes, while its aquatic resources feed and nourish economies. In return, naval ships from benefiting countries conduct patrol to ward off sea pirates and promote safe maritime activities along the corridor. MV Vigia is the second Spanish naval ship to visit Nigeria in the last 4 months. Apart from being a strong indication of Spain's recognition of Nigeria as a strong force and the security of the Gulf of Guinea, their visit is also a pointer to the growing trade relations between the two countries. Spanish ambassador to Nigeria, Marcelino Ansolina, said as much as he commends Nigeria's efforts in ensuring maritime security along the international waters, noting that the way forward is more synergy through intelligence sharing and capacity building.
Nigerians beginning a very important exercise, which is Deep Blue, in order to reinforce the security in the Gulf of Guinea, and Spain would like to participate in these efforts.
With about 80% of Nigeria's international trade going through the Gulf of Guinea, promoting safe maritime activities along the corridor remains a priority.
And so every effort we need to take to secure and ensure safe navigation through the Gulf of Guinea is acceptable, is welcome.
After a series of joint exercises, the visiting ship has since departed Nigeria to resume patrol of the Commonwealth. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
To achieve the target of economic sustainability and lifting about 100 million Nigerians from poverty, revamping dilapidated public infrastructure for job creation is priority. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Babangida Hussaini, explains that this informs efforts to resuscitate the central workshop and training facilities at Ijora, Lagos. Samuel Johnson reports that the road linking the international airport from Oshodi will be closed to speed up repairs.
With the efforts of the federal government already yielding fruit in terms of youth empowerment, taking it further necessitated the decision of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to consider revamping the central workshop, equipping it and converting it to modern skills acquisition center with the possibility of public or private sector collaboration. An evaluation of facilities at the center gives hope.
We want to see what is on ground. We want to study the condition of the equipment. We want to study the condition of the building and then look at the opportunities that we are presenting and making recommendations to government so that this place can be put to better use.
The ministry, he explains, is committed to making public infrastructure work in the interest of Nigerians to enhance the standard of living. The permanent secretary also visited a team of trainees drawn from across public and private organizations undergoing skills upgrade at the center. Meanwhile, the ongoing Oshodi Toyota bridge repairs will require closure of the road for 3 days beginning from Friday this week. Federal Controller of Works in Lagos disclosed this.
There are going to be traffic diversion to Radico, and that will allow the contractor to do the sandblasting. The contractor requested for 5 days to close down the road, but the permanent secretary said no, it should be done this weekend.
He appealed to members of the public to cooperate with the contractor handling the project. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
This is Nationwide, reaching you live from the network service of the NTA. Let's take a short break. Nationwide continues shortly in Abuja. Please stay.
Admission forms into NTA Television College JOS 2021-2022 2-year National Innovation Diploma Program are on sale from 9th of August to 29th of October 2021. Candidates who wish to apply for admission must have 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. The admission forms can be obtained at NTA Television College or any NTA station nationwide at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment for the form is through remitter platform only in favor of NTA Television College. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. Management Announcer.
We are all Nigerians. Against all odds, we shall and must remain united. We may have our challenges, our problems, and setbacks. However, together we shall overcome them all. What doesn't break us shall make us stronger. This is the mindset that shall bring peace, progress, and prosperity to our beloved country. Do not let tribal and religious sentiments govern how you think, act, or feel. Don't be influenced by those who want to destroy our precious national unity. Everybody who's a Nigerian is your brother and your sister. This is the mindset of the new Nigeria. It is also the mindset that we must all adopt. Let us support each other in creating the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
The Blues will look to start the new season with a victory against former rival Patrick Vieira as he leads his London side, Crystal Palace, to Stamford Bridge. This Saturday, it's Chelsea versus Crystal Palace on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Thanks for rejoining us. It's nationwide. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has launched a project aimed at providing immediate socio-economic relief to vulnerable migrants returnees in northern Nigeria. Ruth Aguele reports that the ministry is partnering the International Organization for Migration and the Embassy of Switzerland in Nigeria.
The slogan, "No place like home," clearly depicts the reality for Ali Ahmed. After spending 8 years outside Nigeria, for him, whatever it takes, survival at home is best.
I officially launched the project providing immediate socio-economic relief to vulnerable migrants impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic in northern states.
With the launch of the project by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, it is a new dawn for migrants in the Northeast. The project seeks to address the socio-economic needs of vulnerable migrants by providing immediate relief.
The project is designed to complement actions funded under the UN COVID-19 Basket Fund by focusing on returned and potential migrants with beneficiaries drawn from Yobe, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, and Jigawa states.
The project has been designed to align with the federal government of Nigeria's priorities and will ensure the needs of women, men are considered throughout the project.
This particular project is another proof of the well-functioning migration partnership and the importance Switzerland attaches to Nigeria.
The project is expected to run for 9 months. The International Organization for Migration is to facilitate its implementation and to be funded by the Swiss government to ensure the sustainability of the program and make life better for migrants. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
Nigeria has taken delivery of 177,600 doses of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine out of the 29 million doses expected. The Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, while receiving the vaccines at the National Strategic Cold Store Abuja, said the target is to vaccinate people in the hard-to-reach areas. The Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine is a direct purchase by the federal government through the African Union program.
Will be delivered over the coming months. Because it is a one-dose effective vaccine, these doses will be focused on those who are in the hard-to-reach areas. That is to say, the riverine areas, desert communities, security compromised areas, and also the elderly.
It's to say to all people in Nigeria. Last week we received the Moderna vaccines, today the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Next week we will receive more AstraZeneca vaccines. They are coming in on a regular basis. This is the time to step up and get vaccinated.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 790 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria within the last 24 hours. The breakdown of the new cases from 12 states and the Federal Capital Territory indicates that Lagos State tops the daily statistics with 574, followed by Rivers with 83, Ondo 38, Ogun 31, Oyo 23, and Delta State with 10. The FCT has 9 new cases, Ekiti 7, Edo 6, Osun 4, while both Anambra and Bayelsa have 2 each, with Plateau State recording 1. With this development, Nigeria now has a total confirmed 179,908 cases of COVID-19, out of which 166,203 patients have been treated and discharged, with the death toll now 2,195. 31,815 deaths already recorded across the country, and the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Chike Ihekwazo, is warning that the cholera outbreak is killing more Nigerians now than COVID-19 due to non-adherence to health regulations. The epidemiologist spoke at the weekly executive briefing of the press at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, organized by the Presidential Media Team headed by Femi Adesina, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. 22 states, he says, are currently experiencing outbreak of cholera, and there is the urgent need for every individual and household to ensure cleanliness and sanitation.
For increased investments in wash infrastructure. What do I mean by wash infrastructure? Both among the rich and the poor, we are in trouble. We used to have water reticulation systems in our cities. Now, every middle-class household in Nigeria relies on a borehole. Boreholes have intrinsic challenges. The poor rely on water fetched from downstream when someone is defecating upstream into the same stream. So we need to educate our people. We need to encourage our state governments to invest in water distribution and really raise this with your support up the agenda in the press, in the media, among our politicians as we go into the next election cycle in Nigeria. So really, cholera is a massive problem. We have outbreaks in 22 of the 36+1 states in Nigeria have ongoing outbreaks right now. And we need to save those lives as much as we need to save the lives of people with COVID.
Dr. Ihekwazu advised the people to avoid open defecation, maintain good and proper hygiene such as washing of hands regularly, coughing into the elbow, and regular cleaning of the house and environment. Worried by the upsurge in the circulation of fake and adulterated drugs and consumables, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has embarked on a nationwide campaign. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports that the campaign is aimed at sensitizing Nigerians on the dangers of drug abuse and penalties that await abusers and peddlers of fake drugs.
In recent times, drug abuse and circulation of fake drugs, as well as adulterated consumables, have become a source of concern in Nigeria. These unfortunate practices informed the decision of NAFDAC to organize this stakeholders forum, where security agencies, religious bodies were sensitized on the dangers of drug abuse to national development in the COVID-19 era.
The laws are there, and therefore violations will be made with stiff penalties, as stipulated by the law.
So there's need to be stronger enforcement. Whosoever do found wanting, he must be dealt.
The expectation is behavioral change. It affects all of us, and many people who are innocent can be victims of these nefarious activities.
The campaign continued on major streets in Sokoto metropolis. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And it's the turn of Abubakar in our Maiduguri Network Center. It's over to you.
It's always good to see you, Hawa, and thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. As part of the voluntary return of internally displaced persons to their ancestral homes, Borno State government has resettled 500 household returnees each from Doro and Cross Kawa communities of Kuka local government in northern Borno. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, while flagging off the resettlement exercise, also supervised distribution of food and non-food support to them. Mohammed Goni completes the story.
Although about 70% of the lake Chad has receded, it has continued to provide livelihoods to communities on its shores, such as Baga, Cross-Kawa, and Doro, until the agrarian and commercial settlements were displaced by the insurgents. Borno State government resettled Baga, a commercial and agrarian community in Kukawa local government last year, where social and economic activities have picked up. Resettlement of Doro, a community known for production of about 100 truck loads of fish weekly before dislodgement, as well as Cross-Kawa, will not only enable the returnees regain their means of livelihood, but also boost the economy of the state and the northeast. To enable them stand on their feet, food and non-food items consisting of bag of rice, maize, and 10,000 naira cash support were presented to each of the over 2,500 male and female returnees in the two communities, while fabrics and children wear were also given to women. Professor Babagana Umar Zulum charged members of the two communities to be resilient, cooperate with the security operatives by reporting suspicious movement and persons to security operatives.
Apart from the resettlement, the most important thing is to see how we can provide means of livelihood.
Chairman of the Resettlement Committee, Barrister Kakasha Ulan, said the committee successfully resettled Baga community 11 months ago, which also culminated in resettlement of Doro and Cross-Kawa, and further thanked Governor Zulum for his support, as well as the security operatives for their commitment to the success of the resettlement. Each male and female residents of Baga community, numbering 3,450, were also presented with a bag each of rice, maize, and while children wear and fabrics were also given to women. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
And away from activities from northern Borno to talk health now. Free hepatitis screening exercise has been flagged off by wife of Borno State Governor Dr. Falmata Babagana Umar Zulum to mark World Hepatitis Week and Fistula Repair Program at the State Specialist Hospital Maiduguri. The governor's wife stressed the need for partnership, coordination and synergy among stakeholders in order to reduce the burden on the two health conditions in Borno State. Yagum Subukar has more details.
Organized by Medical Women Association and the State Specialist Hospital Maiduguri, UNFPA and other partners, the World Hepatitis Week and Fistula Repair Program aims at creating awareness on the two health conditions that affect the people. Dr. Falmata Babagana Umar Azulum commended the organizers for their concern and foresight, seeing the diseases have direct impact on well-being and welfare of the society. She called on traditional and religious leaders to help in curbing stigma, while government and partners should strive to create an enabling environment to reduce the high rate of such diseases due to ignorance. Health Commissioner Comrade Juliana Bitrus assured to carry out public awareness campaigns at the rural areas and called for more support from partners to ensure quality health services. Commissioner for Women Affairs Zuwaira Gambo challenged all to be ambassadors of awareness creation in their communities and families to eradicate fistula and hepatitis. Chief Medical Director, Hospital Management Board, Dr. Arab Alhaji said, the medical, social and surgical issues of fistula can be addressed provided people undergo testing and avail themselves for medication. President of Women Medical Association, Dr. Zainab Piaro Musa said, with support of UNFPA, 150 women suffering from fistula will be repaired, in addition to free screening and vaccination for people on hepatitis. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
It's now time to take another break on Nationwide to join Obehi in our Benin Network Center for more reports. So join us again.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
We started with a very aggressive response from the very beginning. If you remember the very first case in Nigeria, very well contained, very few infections arose from that. We started airport screenings and temperature checks way before anyone really understood what was going on. On the front lines of the response, the team here at the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, supported all the 36 states. At some point, we had teams in 32 of our 36 states concurrently, leading the response, the emergency operations centers, making sure we're getting the surveillance data, building up our information resources on our website. Our website became one of the most visited websites on the continent, as many other African countries were looking to the leadership Nigerians provided. At our Incident Coordination Center, people were working literally 14, 15 hours every single day.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
The Blues will look to start the new season with a victory against former rival Patrick Vieira as he leads his London side, Crystal Palace, to Stamford Bridge. This Saturday, it's Chelsea versus Crystal Palace on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Hello and welcome to Benin. Ekiti State Police Command has paraded suspected criminals for various offences, including a police impersonator. Parading the suspects at the command headquarters at Ekiti, the police commissioner Tunde Mobayo warned that there will be no hiding place for criminals in the state. Kehinde Durodola reports.
The suspects paraded include a middle-aged man suspected to have connived with kidnappers who killed a man and kidnapped 2 victims along Ewu Ayetoro Road recently. Another paraded suspect was a police impersonator caught with live ammunitions and military caps who was said to have committed same offense in 2014. Other suspects were arrested for offenses ranging from stealing, robbery, and burglary, while stolen items were also recovered. The police commissioner, who spoke through the command's police public relations officer, Sandy Abutu, said the suspects who have been terrorizing people in the state were apprehended through intelligence operation and information from the public.
The uploads of the above breakthroughs and lots more does not all go to the police, but also to the good-spirited members of the public who supply credible and timely information to the police.
The state police commissioner, who assured the citizens that police will not rest on its efforts at making the state free of criminalities, enjoined the public to always fortify the police with useful information. In Ado-Ekiti, Kehinde Durodola, NTA News.
And from security to education, the basic education certificate examinations and the national examinations are going on peacefully in Ondo State, with COVID-19 preventive protocols being observed. Oluwakemi Ademola, who monitored the exercise in both the urban and rural parts of the state, now reports.
The COVID-19 protocols are being observed in both public and private secondary schools in Ondo State, taking part in the external Benke and NECO examinations conducted for GSS 3 and SS3 students.
This time around, things went on smoothly, unlike last year when exam had to be put forward. Some candidates even lose out almost completely because of the NSAS riot at that time.
Thank God for the materials and everything completed. We do not have any problem concerning that examination.
In some of the rural schools visited, the students and their teachers hope for excellent academic performance.
Our exam is great. The people are not so harsh. There's no challenges. It's been okay and simple.
Education stakeholders are optimistic that schools' curriculum affected by the coronavirus pandemic will return to its unified operational standard in September, when all external examinations must have been concluded. In Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Hawa in Abuja.
Very well, Obehi. Thank you. The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekun Adegbite, has called on state governments to create the enabling environment for investors to thrive. He made the appeal when the governor of Katsina State, Bello Masari, visited him in Abuja. Governor Masari was in the ministry to update the minister on the progress Katsina State has made in the mining sector.
What we have prepared and what we want your ministry to assist in marketing to other investors, and also to see areas where we can cooperate and make things easier for anybody who has come to invest in the solar minerals.
We like to partner with the state governments to make sure that investors
do feel welcome. We need to avoid incidents of multiple taxation, which we keep telling our people, which is sending investors away from some places. The state governors are better positioned to provide enabling environment for our investors.
The minister says the federal government will continue to collaborate and support legitimate entrepreneurs in the solid mineral sector who are adding value to the economy and creating employment for Nigerian youth. The minister said this when he visited a quarry company in Kubwa, Abuja. The minister urged the company to expand its scope of business operation from quarries business to lead and zinc exploration, stressing that there exists great business potential in the mineral sector. The company commended the rich human and material resources in Nigeria and pledged to contribute towards the diversification of Nigeria's economy. Towards promoting socio-economic activities in the aviation sector, Airpace Airline has resolved to narrow the gap in Nigeria's air travel by providing multiple network options. Nafisa Umar Garba reports that this was at the flag off of the maiden flight by Airpace at the international airport in Gombe.
This is the first operation of the Airpace Airline in Gombe State, arriving with passengers from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. This will not ease the transportation business only, but also promote the economic growth of the state.
It was a very good, awesome aircraft, and the pilot was very good, doing his job perfectly, and the timing was okay, and it's a good thing to have a piece in Gombe State.
One of the things that you look at in tourism destination is airline. If you have airline, you have international airport, then definitely you attract people to come into this state.
Whereas in one word, awesome, right? To know that you have to save yourself the 9 hours journey.
The route expansion of the Airpace to Gombe State is a renewed commitment of providing frequent air services in the state with the aim of reducing the burden of air travel and fostering unity by creating commercial relations between states of the Federation.
We will work jointly with the stakeholders in the state to maximize the gains on Gombe network, including employment creation, which has already commenced.
For you in the transport business, very soon you may have to bring a bigger boy or the biggest aircraft to be patronizing Gombe, because always you will have overbooked passengers.
The Airpace domestic flights will operate 3 times a week into Gombe State from Lagos and Abuja. Nafisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
From aviation to railway, where users will soon heave a sigh of relief, as the Nigerian Railway Corporation has already mobilized men and material to site for repairs of the rail tracks, which suffered structural defects during a heavy rain recently in Oshogbo. Wasiu Rauf has an update.
It's been a week that a torrential rain impacted heavily on the rail tracks in Oshogbo and its environs, washing away the soil base, thereby leaving the rail sleepers hanging. The development has temporarily hindered movement of train from the southwest to the north-central parts of the country. Although authorities of the Nigerian Railway Corporation are not available for comments, however, the corporation has mobilized to site man and materials to fix the affected tracks with a more durable embankment.
I'm very happy because the work is on full force. Even I thank God and I thank the whole management for Nigerian Railway Corporation.
By using the long sail, the one that just bringing in now, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. Another 5-10 years to this time, the same thing will repeat itself. Look at this small bridge, this little one there. They're supposed to uproot it and do it properly.
Similar repairs are being carried out on other areas that suffered structural defects in Oshogbo. Wasiu Rauf, NTA News.
Now to education, where the 3rd edition of the TEDFund Taxpayers Forum is reviewing the education sector with a view to improving capacity and infrastructural development in the country. Speaking on the theme of the event, TED Fund Intervention Catalyst for Transforming Tertiary Education in Nigeria, stakeholders propose improvement in the sector.
152,838 various infrastructure projects have been carried out across the various public tertiary institutions. These projects include construction of lecture theaters, classrooms, hostels, offices, laboratories, road networks, and fencing of institutions in different parts of the country. Additionally, we sponsored over 10,000 lecturers in the local PhD program.
They came up with the project maintenance because the structures they are putting up through TED Fund, they are getting old. And there's need to maintain those structures because you have TED Fund on it, which is a brand. You have 7 billion naira allocated for last year, 2020. And for the entrepreneurship development, you have 10.8 billion naira. 34.8 billion naira allocated for library development.
And still on education, the National Examinations Council, NECO, has procured additional 8,000 biometric machines to cover all its centers across the country. The NECO registrar, Professor Ibrahim Dantani Washishi, disclosed this in Yola after inspecting the ongoing NECO examinations in some centers in Adamawa State. Tafar Hamzamayu reports.
2021 NECO Senior School Certificate Examination captured over 1.3 million candidates against 1.1 million who sat for the examination in 2020, hence the decision of the body to explore more ways to ease its activities. The registrar NECO, Professor Ibrahim Dantani Ushishi, during monitoring of the ongoing NECO SSC internal examination in some centers in Yola, said the growing popularity of NECO in the country necessitated the provision of more biometric machines in all approved centers nationwide.
I want to say in NECO that other international examination bodies look up to for learning certain innovations that we have introduced in NECO in terms of conducting credible and reliable examination.
Ushishi, who expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the examination, assured that NECO will continue to provide credible services for the good of all in Yola. Tafawa Hamzamayu, NTA News.
The federal government has commenced verification of existing data of the homegrown school feeding program in Nasuru State with a view to scale up the intervention to cover more beneficiaries. Ben Mitu, who is monitoring the exercise in some primary schools in the state, completes the report.
The National Homegrown School Feeding Program is one of the 4 clusters of the National Social Investment Program, which is intended to reduce the number of out-of-school children. In Nasarawa State, 1,203 schools are benefiting with 196,873 pupils as beneficiaries. The enumeration exercise will assist the ministry to ascertain the actual number of beneficiaries to enable it plan as well as improve accountability.
There's a plan to expand the feeding to another 5 million Nigerians. So when we finish with this verification, we'll have a primary data, which will now go back to the field and start enrolling new beneficiaries.
I will thank the government so that let them just continue, so that it will be making me just happy.
Many of the people have not been coming to school because of this feeding. They now come back to school. The population is very much now.
We're very grateful. So they have to consider us at least to ask something for us. That is our cry for them.
The enumeration exercise will last for 3 weeks. In Lafia, Ben Mitu, NTA News.
Similarly, Jigawa State has also started the enumeration exercise with a view to verify the existing data of benefiting pupils in Jigawa State. Awal Mohammed Kazauri reports. Okay, while waiting for that story, selected youth from the eastern part of the country have been trained in the art of photography towards empowering them for sustainability. The skill acquisition program was facilitated by the Special Assistant on Documentation to the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekon Adegbite. Steve Lonai Nwokolo reports.
Two-day photography workshop for the Southeast, which was aimed at enhancing the capacities of the youths in the act of photography, was interspersed with photo shooting competition. 3 participants who emerged the overall best were rewarded with prizes of 600D Canon camera, hard drive and memory cards.
It was just my last shot that I was able to get this shot that made me win this competition.
Super excited about this workshop. I say thank you to the organizers, thank you to the sponsors. I am much grateful.
Giving insights into the workshop virtually, Chief of Staff to the Minister for State, Minister of Mines and Steel Development, and Special Assistant to the Imo State Governor on Photography urged the participants to use the opportunity to improve their skills in the image-making profession.
In our dear country, Nigeria, youth unemployment is obviously a national concern. And new partnerships and approaches can help us in turning this tide.
We know how the country is. So from our whole desk, from my desk, I just want us to grow. I want us to learn. I feel if we are empowered, we can do more together.
The Southeast Workshop, the second after that of the North Central, will also hold in the remaining 4 geopolitical regions of the country. In Umuahia, Steve Lonai Nwokolo, NTA News.
The Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Bello, has appointed a 9-man Tourism Intervention Advisory Committee headed by the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Olusegun Runshowe, as chairman. The appointment of Otumba Runshowe, who is also the president, Africa Region World Craft Council, a week after he led the 36 states commissioners and directors of arts and culture to a technical meeting on National Festival of Arts and Culture, NIFEST, in Ekiti State, reaffirms Governor Bello's determination to change the narrative of culture, tourism and trade in Kogi State. A statement from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the State, Dr. Folashade Arike Ayoade, indicates that the appointment takes immediate effect. And sports is next with Kene Emagbodike.
The final batch of Team Nigeria athletes to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on Thursday. Still basking in the euphoria of the nation's silver and bronze medals won at the Games, the athletes look forward to early preparations for the next edition in Paris, Camp 2024.
Yeah, champions never quit. I believe I'll bounce back by the special grace of God. Paris is around the corner. And I believe by the special grace of God, my dream will come true.
We're going to have grassroots programs. We're going to go on schools and everything, and we're going to push more.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's debutant Olympian Elizabeth Anyanacho has broken into the top 30 according to the latest world ranking released by World Taekwondo. The 22-year-old, who is now ranked 28th in the world, following her participation at the G20 ranked Tokyo Olympic Games, hopes to build upon the lessons learned in Tokyo as she prepares for subsequent events.
Going there at this stage now has given me a kind of confidence to go for Paris 2024 because now I have felt the kind of tension in that stage.
Lucy Ejike has been picked as the captain of Team Nigeria to the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, which begin August 24, with 22 athletes set to represent Nigeria. Ejike has wealth of experience, having won 5 medals, including 3 gold and 2 silver, since her first participation in Sydney 2000. Excellent Football Club of Ughelli on Thursday at the Ughelli Township Stadium played a tribute match in honor of former Super Eagles midfield maestro Samuel Sochukuma Okwaraji, who died 32 years ago. Recall that Okwaraji collapsed and died of a congestive heart failure in the 77th minute of a World Cup qualification match against Angola at the Lagos National Stadium in Surulere on the 12th of August 1989. With sports update, Kenen Ima Abodike, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the entire family of the late lawyer Gani Faweimi over the death of their son, Mohammed. In a statement signed by his special advisor media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president urges the bereaved family to find comfort in God, who gives and takes, and draw consolation in the fact that the departed robustly fought a debilitating condition which confined him to the wheelchair for many years. President Buhari says his body may have been broken, but his spirit was virile, agile, and he kept the flag of the family flying, doing justice to the memory of his late father. He prays for the repose of the soul of the departed, urging strength for all those who mourn Mohammed Faweini. And that's nationwide today. But before we leave you, remember to partner with us here at the NTA as we fight against rape and rapists. And also don't forget, COVID-19 is still very much around. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. Good evening.